I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cool.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Doughboy Fresh here, and welcome to Valheim. This is a survival Viking game that is pretty popular at the moment. So yeah, what we're going to be doing, as you could probably see in the title, is we're going to be playing some hardcore Valheim. Similar to other hardcore, similar with Minecraft, if you are familiar with that. Hardcore mode, if you die, your character's dead. There is no hardcore built into this game, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the character, create a new world, and if I die, I will delete that character and delete that world. So, hopefully that doesn't happen, but early on in this game it is pretty unforgiving. Later on it can be as well, because the enemies get pretty tough, but we'll see how we do. First thing, we're going to make a new character. We are going to... Let's make an emo guy here, because hardcore fit... Whoa, I don't want white hair. There we go. Hardcore it fits. Then we're going to name him Hardcore Fresh. I don't think you can put numbers. Yeah, Hardcore Fresh. I'm going to try to put 1 at the end of it, but I can't. Oh, Hardcore Fresh is the first attempt at the hardcore. So the goal with this series is going to be obviously not dying and beating all 5 bosses currently that are in the game. Eventually, I think they're supposed to be bringing out 9, but at the moment there's only 5. So we'll be making a new world. Let's name that Hardcore. And then seed, I'm just going to smash my keyboard randomly. Random seed right there. Never seen this world before. Every world is different. So we're going to see how it goes. Alright, so we are flying into our world. As you can see, we got our little Hardcore Fresh guy with his sick hairdo right there. We're flying in on, I'm guessing this is a Valkyrie. Pretty cool looking. If you haven't played this game, the graphics are sort of pixel art they make up for in having stellar lighting effects. I don't know, I think the game's beautiful. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the graphics being crappy, blah blah blah, but I think the game's gorgeous. But, you know, people complain. So this is our little shrine. This is where you put the trophies of each boss that you kill. On my regular playthrough, I've defeated all 5 at this point. So it's like, hey, let's try a little hardcore challenge. Because in Minecraft, once you beat that game, there's really nothing left to do except for build, similar to this game, until they bring out more content. Which apparently they have a lot of content on the way. So I mean, 4 more bosses and 4 more biomes. That's a lot of content. This is Hugin for when you first start. He's a little crow that pops up and teaches you how to play the game. The game has some pretty cool PvE aspects to it. Thinking eventually they're gonna try to open up the servers, which currently house 10 players. But yeah, maybe having like an open world type of, a couple hundred people on a server type thing. And I mean, the maps are big enough. See, this map's huge. It's currently where I'm at. Scroll out. That's the map. And this thing's islands, oceans. It's crazy. But so goal number 1 here for hardcore. We need to find some sticks and stones to hopefully not break bones. At least our bones. Others' bones, yes. And we gotta make a stone axe. Now, this game does have a lot of I guess, constant farming times and running times, which I'll be doing time lapses of. Personally, I like watching time lapses. They're kind of peaceful. You know, some nice music to it, and then it's kind of cool to see everything moving at super speed, falling down and stuff like that. So I'll be doing similar stuff when I get to that point. Ooh. Flint is a big find. I don't need another torch. If I die, this torch is gone. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, flint. Yeah, so flint is a very big find early because flint tools are kind of where you want to get to before you start exploring into other biomes. Obviously getting a bow as well is going to be kind of an early priority for us. But right now we just want to get this little stone axe action here. Grab some more flint. And then what I'm going to do, how much flint we got? 14. That's actually great. So what we'll do is we'll chop down some trees. Get myself a little bit of wood, and then I'm going to build a workbench, put a roof over it real quick, and then try to get myself a flint axe. And that's when I'm going to kind of get with the chopping of the wood a little bit. Let's make a club. So I want to use clubs on these guys early, because the third biome is a swamp, and almost everything's resistant, or not resistant, but weak to blunt damage. So leveling up that mace and club skill early will be very nice. Very good. Plus there's a lot of skeletons in the Black Forest too, which is the second biome we'll really get to explore here. Now, another goal early on is to find food. Obviously, eventually we'll be able to kill deer and pigs and these little frog people, and get a good source of meat. But finding berries and mushrooms is really helpful, because there comes a point where you get to craft food items, and berries and mushrooms are always something that you never have enough of once you get to that point. So hopefully try to stock up on those a lot early. Now, the game's combat, some people think it's pretty simple, but I mean, simple's good. It's got parry mechanic, so if you block right before you get hit, you get to parry. It staggers them, and then your damage is increased. So I think it's a good combat system. I really have no complaints, other than the two-handed weapons. Those are like warhammers and battle axes and stuff. They kind of suck. Not gonna lie, they really suck. They're useful in like one instance throughout the game, and then they're useless. So, hoping they change that a little bit. Maybe make them do a little bit more damage. Because at the moment, really the only thing they got going for them is AoE, which is nice, but definitely not what you want. You know, you want them big damages. Oh, sorry. Situating myself here, getting comfy. So we're about to start farming for a while here. Need to get myself a spot where I can sit in one spot. Now my goal for the hardcore is I want to film about an hour each time, and then obviously do time lapses in the center, cutting out, you know, any kind of load times if the game crashes or once I'm loading into the game type of stuff. So hoping the videos will end up being 20-ish minutes after all that, except for time lapse and a lot of farm time. So you're gonna not have as much game time, but that's the goal. We'll see if that works out. If the videos end up being too long, I'll probably cut the record time down a little bit, just so videos aren't super long. No one likes to watch a long YouTube video, you know, me included. Now this thing, you can't build too close to it, but I kind of want to build next to this. It looks like a big lake, but there might be an opening right there. And over there, possibly. Because having an ocean will be really nice for when I need to start searching for a swamp. Because, yeah, gotta take them boats. Yeah, that one spot might not be too bad. So we're gonna build like a little shack, and then smack the. Gotta raise it off the ground a little bit. Smack the crafting station or the workbench inside of it. That way we can utilize it. Now, the game has structural integrity in it, so everything you kind of need to be grounded. And the further you get away from the ground in upward or sideways direction, will lower its integrity and possibly cause the structure to fall. And that's something we definitely don't want. Is this something that I just can't do? I have to just clip it in the middle and make it look weird. And bang. See, that was red because it wasn't touching the ground. It was basically also being supported by that that beam. But I clipped that one inside of it, which basically green is good. Blue means it's grounded. Green is good. Yellow, orange, and red are the ones you don't want to see. Just for structural integrity. Brings out the architect in me, which is pretty cool. It's what I wanted to do with my life when I was a kid. Alright, so we got our little shack created so far, and we're just gonna smack some flooring on it. Missing required. So this is the trouble part, because I need to put a roof on it to be able to use that workbench. So, we're going to try to get another, I'd say half a stack or so. Just going to be a nice little small hut. And then once we're done with that, we'll try to make that flint axe that we have. And then, probably do some time-lapse wood chopping. So we need quite a bit of wood early. And obviously I'll be hunting pigs and deer. Deer, you have to sneak up on them if you don't have a bow, but it's possible. Leveling up the sneak skill might not be a bad idea early either, because that might be a fun way to play the hardcore is sneak skill. Balls. We have 4 wood too. Oop. Missed those berries. Now we need to find a branch. I thought I saw a branch. Oh, there's one. Make another stone axe, then I'll just chuck this one into the ocean. The game currently, unless you use cheats in the console like that, there's no way to really despawn dropped items. So if you drop them anywhere where you normally run, it's not gonna lie, it's kind of cancerous. You just have items everywhere, and then when you relog and log back in, you'll pick them all up. It's just the worst. So try to drop them in the ocean, and unless you want to learn these console commands, you basically have to turn on cheater mode and then type in a certain quote-unquote cheat, and it just removes all dropped items. Some people don't like that because it gets rid of the immersion of the game, and it's just not how the game's intended to be built or played. It's not built that way. But for something as simple as like getting rid of dropped items, I don't think it's that bad, because it's pain. I use it on my regular playthrough quite often because I have stuff that I drop everywhere, so it's nice to be able to get rid of it. probably in a good spot to finish up this little shack we got here. Get a roof on it. It's not going to look the best, but I'm not going to focus on making things look too good in the hardcore, just because it's not a big priority. It's obviously important because you don't want to walk into a building that just looks awful, you know, but it's really not going to be something that I'm going to break my back for. Maybe later on, once we get a little bit more established in the world, I'll probably try to make some nice looking stuff. But for right now, we'll just keep it nice and simple. And still don't have enough wood, but that gave us enough. That's not on 8. That's not on 8. I'm so used to my regular playthrough where I have things on certain keys. But yeah. So get this going, we'll repair a flint axe. Wood, okay. So we're gonna go chop down a couple more trees, maybe one more, should be enough to finish that, and then make our flint axe. Now the flint axe is much better than the stone, as you can imagine. Plus, it makes for a very... What the heck is that? What? Every time I hit this, I'm getting like a wiggling up in the top left. It's tripping me out. But yeah, the flint axe makes for a good weapon too, against gray dwarfs and stuff like that, which are sort of beginner mobs. I'm going to try to utilize the club as much as I can so I can level up my club skill for the swamp. So probably won't use the flint axe as much as I should for a weapon, but the club works just fine. Getting a shield will also be very important too. Shields give you the ability to parry heavier attacks and block heavier attacks without taking damage. So obviously extremely important for a game mode where we don't want to die. And knowing myself, I'll probably end up dying just by jumping around because I like to sprint and jump. I'm very impatient, so I sprint around as much as I can. And I'll either run into a plain biome or a troll and have no stamina, or I'll just jump off a cliff and die. I've done it many times, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But we got 20 more wood. That should be enough to finish, I'm hoping. If not, worst case scenario, we just go ahead and make that flint axe now. And now we just try to finish up our little build here. Just gonna leave it relatively open because we're gonna put a campfire and a bed in here because nighttime is also a scary time. Come on, clip, clip, clip. There we go. Man, that's a little too open. Let's fill that in a little bit. Which wood? 8. Yeah, just enough. So if I can get that clipped in the right spot. There we go. Let's fill in these little corners. And it'll give us a little window to look through. Just like that. I guess before I do the time-lapse so I'm going to chop down one more tree because I need to make a bed and a fire because it's going to be night soon, as you can tell. Sun is getting a little low. And then with that fire, maybe we can cook up some of this food too. Cooked meat is going to be kind of something we abuse early. Don't go in the water. Alright. Okay. Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, logs have a fall animation. I don't know how it killed me there. I didn't even think it hit me. It probably glitched out or something. We didn't get any cool time lapses or anything like that. But I guess this is a nice little introduction video for what the hardcore series will be. Yeah, that's sad. But as proof, because we died, we're gonna go ahead and go delete the character, delete the world. and we'll try it again. I'm gonna try to upload a couple of these a week. I haven't been super consistent with uploads recently. If you look on my previous YouTube videos, they're all like highlight videos and stuff like that, but they're pretty spaced apart. So I'm hoping this series that I'm doing here will kick me into gear, because I really like editing. It's one of my favorite things to do, and just need the motivation to do it. So we go delete the character is now gone. We only have 2 characters now. And then go ahead and delete the world, hardcore, remove, and yes. And there we go. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you like to. I'll leave a comment. I'm always down for constructive criticism. Even criticism, I don't care. You can tell me I'm bad and that I should have dodged that tree. But yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by. Hope to see you in the next one. Y'all have a good day and stay fresh.